story all this because I watched Louis C.K.'s ridiculous. It's only number 5 or 6 on Netflix, which is, we should have chosen a better name. That's ridiculous. It's like, why don't you go all the way to unreleased and then hit the thing? He'll probably do a special called Unreleased. But my main question here today is, where are you recording me? I'm right here. You don't record my ass or my x-ray or my bones. It's really fucked up. I'm hoping you're recording me right here. Earlier today, I saw a young woman dressed nearly naked in a bikini inside a bodega. And then she was asking, why are you recording me? And all these reasons in mind, like, it's my First Amendment right, I'm a dude, just a guy, if the chicken feed walks towards the chicken, it's gonna peck. Then I realized I'm not 12 anymore. So I looked to guidance. And in the Bronx, there is a street justice. It's basically whatever, next, like that. It's like, if you know Jacob Maria, it's like that. And Jacob, not that I miss the guy, but he was very, like, edgy. He remains edgy in the brand. And so, he would basically excel at any kind of chat thing in that bus when Steven Seagal was running it. I don't see him no more. I just saw him literally. You see this motherfucker? This waving bank? That's Jacob Maria. Hi, Jacob. Hope all is alright. Can you stop moving for like a fucking second? Sometimes your highest performer is like, look, no hands. I can tell. Jesus fucking Christ, yeah. So anyway, and then there's another one, another version of Jacob, just zooming. I don't know what it is about the Jacob Maria thing. I know maybe it's a bust alternate or Steven's fault or something. It's just sometimes you make these personas and they take over. You don't want that. You want to retain your identity and then have roles, But if it is useful, like, see how Jacob stopped? And then, but it expresses itself in music. Jesus is right. Two girls dating. There's not much I can do other than bop. It's good music. Part of it is I learned shoulder dancing. A lot of people, when they dance, they don't use their shoulders. I had to. So anyway, I was just yelling at you guys about, gruesome over here, or genocide, I guess, or generate, or whatever. 8-letter word starts with G, ends with D. That's it. I don't despise him. I just I always wonder, what the fuck are you doing on planet Earth? Are you slumming? Are you an alien? Because, he did a prophecy is basically next. And this happened physically in my real life. I was like, by the law of surprise, I didn't expect to see young woman pubic hair in the Bronx on the hottest day of all time. But I did. And so did a lot of people. Will you stop? This motherfucker, man. He's just either stroking my head. It's not the Sean, will you stop? It's just an exasperated father. And of course, all kids, all sons, want to murder their dad and marry their mom in Catholicism. I don't know about all the other religions. So, just don't you despise this guy? Even as a leaf, he's irritating. You know what I mean? And he's just ooh, I want a close up. Fuck you, man. So anyway, yeah, you're always going to have in my mind, let's say Sean Justin Penn. Even as a third-born son, he's the kind of guy, instead of using a proper sniper rifle, he doesn't trust the backfire. So he'll just physically walk, and I'm back, and blacker than ever. Who writes all this? I'm going to turn black with all this heat. So many people have changed to at least 3 shades darker just because of the increased plasma. I just realized I've been on mute all this time. Fucking penny. The penny just dropped. So all the things I was telling you about, only the people with flock cameras, external, know what the fuck I'm talking about. But he's so determined to have full control over all apps, and like, why would I interrupt? But it's not useful. I could also change my thing. By all. There's a Sly Goblin. Makeup, lenses. I can do thermal. Yeah. And blue retro. I can do X-ray, which is kind of weird. Horror TV. Help me. I can make a dance party. Oh yeah, this used to annoy LoJack. So if PTSD, this may trigger you. I don't know. I'm glad they put it back. Apparently you have to do this in like, what is this? Oh, camera off. Huh. Useful. Lighting on. Touch on. You can hear the birds chirping, but you know, I'm waiting for when it turns emerald green. It's basically like wicked purple and then emerald green, purple, emerald green. Also, the Golem, Grady, made this video. It's like, holy shit, you're reposting really horrible, terrible, crazy ass things on America's birthday. So there must be a war on the horizon. You know? Golem doesn't usually do that. Maybe it's his vampire arc. I don't know. But I know he uses my streams. I don't mind. Freddy is probably like the most grounded out of all the busters. He knows when and where to go crazy. I mean, I don't know where he learned all that from. But you know, there's a time to be a vampire and time to be a fucking golem. For me, again, it's like a demotion to HR or Golem. Basically, Golem is really easy. You know, if you know what a lemma is, it's like part of dilemma. A lemma is more than a truism. It's something actively applied to all physics, etc., etc. And then it's observable. So, golemma. And then golem, machination, manipulation, masturbation. I'm pretty sure all children masturbate. You know, from girls to boys. And it's just, you know, youthful hijinks. But you grow out of it until, you know, they're like the fucking Satanists. They had a satanic wedding. I know this shit. I know it was so satanic, even the leaked photo looked like, you know, I thought you guys were gonna wear ram skulls. Turns out Taylor was just wearing like a plain white dress and Travis was in a suit talking about Bitcoin, and that's the most satanic bullshit of all time. The destruction of all expectations. It's like, just because they paid them this much doesn't mean they're gonna put on a ram skull for you. They just gauge your level of attention. It's like, you know. Also, woo, go get him, boys. And then there's a detective, and there's another detective, 4 fucking detectives, and it's a Highlander. Whoa, a Toyota Highlander. Hot pursuit. I used to get some nice speed on my Highlander. Miss it a lot. Made a lot of things easier, like carrying things. Then I hurt my back because of my insane thoughts that this is normal to carry things or steal from major corporations, their essential gear. But I've been waiting all this time to be called out, and so far nobody. Because, you know, I style myself after the penitent thief. I'm gonna steal paradise or positivity. Jacob, I could literally break you in half, okay? Literally. It wouldn't be as hard as breaking that in half. But he knows that I'm very, very soft. Like a marshmallow. However, if like a shipping container of marshmallows fell on you, you'd probably think, boy, soft, but, you know, encased in metal. So, you know, be careful of like soft damaged goods. They can have a metal armor and just like put a cramp in your day. Cars, like, women drive cars, and then if they find you doing something, they'll probably run you over. So you accept this. Time I avoid recording people who don't want to record. So, if you ever wanted to see the sky into green and blue and whatever, well, I'm just recording myself. If I hit 16 minutes and 40 seconds on this recording, that's 1,000 seconds in a trillion nanoseconds. So those are a trillion things that could have happened in a bad way, but didn't. Praise Jesus. Praise my God. Gratify my God. It's all the same. If you see God, say hi for him. If you don't, that's all right too. He's invisible to you, and hopefully to me. But like I said, I can only tell you about one of my sons, and he's the most insane one. In that, I couldn't tell you. He had a brother. I don't know how many he has. Maybe he has a sister, and he never told me. Part of this thing is like, father figures, paternity test. But, he hasn't been relevant in a while. And because, he took it upon himself to do covert ops, wet work. And I was like, man, I'm just doing well. You guys got to pretend that, that was a drive-by shooting. Just in case, you don't want to be in the uncomfortable position as like, oh, I didn't know it was coming. You do know it's coming. Assume the position. Earlier today, there was a person who was like, I saw a jet from Cuba. I know what fucking jets are, and I'm going to find shelter. So you can see all the flags represented here. Even Israel is here. Look, guys. They just decided that this way is Israel. Isn't that nice? Why aren't people burning Israel flags here? There must be a reason, don't you think? I didn't expect that either. I'm assuming all of you know where I am. Why wouldn't you? Some of you are paid to protect and serve, and thank you. Some of you are pretending you don't, and that's great. I like it. My goal is to just hit 16 minutes, 40 seconds and see what happens next. Because I read about something called the law of surprise, and today I saw that. I wasn't expecting to see that in the deli at all. Definitely not. It was the most unexpected thing in my life so far. At this point, I'm expecting rabid polar bears on unicycles to say, hey, what's up, mate? Oh, hello, rabid polar bears. I'm going insane. It's pretty much like that. It's amazing also that YouTube, in their wisdom, and finally they got it right, it's like, leave me alone. And they don't advertise my stream. I'm probably shadow banned just the way I like it. I could have recorded this on my phone and not shared it, but I like to share the letter of God. Sometimes God doesn't even use pen or paper. I have to discern. So I walk very slow, just like Tom Hardy in Venom. Oh my God, I was crying like a little bitch near the end of Venom Final Dance or something, Last Dance. He really moved me. I've never felt so empathetic toward the symbiote. So that's the law of symbiote. And Null, right? I know him as the Null hypothesis. Uses me to sharpen his teeth. Sounds crazy, but it's all true. Anyway, have a great, happy 4th of July. 250 years and counting. Let's make it to 1,000 or a trillion years, all right? See you all. Bye.